Hello everyone, David here. Now in this video I want to run you through a new listing of mine here in Sarasota, and we're going to talk about it as though I was advising a buyer as to why this could be a good option for people looking for this particular type of property. So first of all, the unit itself is it's on the second floor, unit 201 at 1632 Stickney Point Road. Now, if you're not familiar with this area, it's in the Castel Del Mare development, which from a location point of view is absolutely ideal if you're looking for easy access to Siesta Key Beach. You want to be close to Captain Kurt's amenities, but you don't necessarily want to be on the quay itself. Now, you can actually walk from the development to Siesta Key in 8 minutes. So that's 8 minutes door to beach without having to get caught up in all of the traffic that sometimes can back up quite quickly on Stickney Point Bridge here. Again, very important if you're not particularly familiar with how the season traffic works. But yeah, location-wise, it's ideal if you want to be close to the beach. Now let's delve into the unit itself. So it's a 2-bed, 2-bath condo, as I say, on the second floor. It's on the market for $360,000. Only been on the market just over a week. Let's take a look inside. So it's this unit here on the second floor. It's fully turnkey, all right? So fully renovated. You have hurricane impact windows and doors as well, which, you know, if you're looking at condos right now, again, it helps keep that insurance down when you're looking at getting a price. Now, compared to some of the other units in this development, they don't have that hurricane impact window and doors, which, you know, if you're going to be so close to the coast, is definitely something that I think you want to have in mind, because getting that sort of level of work done now with the way materials and labour is going to cost you a lot of money. But the unit itself, take a look at it. This is the gazebo just overlooking Little Sarasota Bay in the complex itself. As you say, this is a 2-minute walk away from the condo. And if we take a look out the back here, you can see this is the lanai. This overlooks one of the 2 communal pools, which is going to be great if you, say, have family coming into town and you want to keep an eye on the kids, you know, throughout the day who might be messing around in the pool. This also has a southwesterly facing lanai, all right? So that means that you're going to catch a lot of that late afternoon, evening sun as the sun sets over the Gulf. So again, big bonus from this particular unit. Compared to a lot of the other units in this complex as well, the laundry, so your washer and your dryer, is plumbed into the lanai. All right, so that means that compared to a lot of the other units who have coin-operated communal laundry facilities, or they're plumbed internally, if you're put on a late cycle before you go to bed, you're not going to be kept up by the dryer spinning at 1,000 RPM, whatever it is. And there we go, you can see it's out of sight, out of mind, really. So big bonus for this particular unit compared to a lot of others that are on the market, that are under contract, or that have sold recently. Okay, so that's the unit that we're talking about in question. Now the HOA fees are $992 a month. Now that pretty much includes everything. It includes your external building insurance, it includes landscaping, pest control, trash facilities, sewage, anything you can pretty much think of is included within that amount. Now, if you are looking at condos, one of the things to be very mindful of in this particular market is making sure you're in a complex that has a very well-funded and a very well-managed association. And I can tell you right now that after looking at all the documents and speaking with some of the board here, this is a complex that has that, all right? In actual fact, you tend to find in this particular development in the Castel Del Mare, you have a lot of year-round residents as well as snowbirds, and you have some that use it these units for investment purposes as well, but more often than not, it's long-term snowbirds or people who live here throughout the year. And actually, if they tend to sell, if they have a 2-bed, they want to stay within this development, right? So they'll actually end up downsizing to another 1-bed within the community. And I think that's a very big tell about how people like the amenities that are provided here. They like the community feel of it. They love the location. And just speaking to the amenity side of things, let's just take a look and see what the complex has. You can see it's with the Spanish roof in here. You can see what we have. We have two pools. We've got one internal pool there, which this particular unit overlooks, and then you've got another communal pool here with grilling facilities. As I say, you've got the gazebo. You've got a newly installed shuffleboard court. You've got a new boardwalk that was put in recently, as well as tennis and pickleball courts. And again, all of that is maintained within that $992 HOA fee that you pay. Okay, so let's now move on to pricing. Let's see where it sits in relation to other units here. Now, it is a 2-bed. You can see we've got it here, 360, 1632, Stickney Point Road, Unit 201. Now, another unit that's on the market here is on for $339,000. And you can see it's in the same development, but what do we notice about this unit compared to ours? Well, look at the condition. It's nowhere near as recently updated as the one that we're talking about. Okay, so you're going to need to come in there to bring it up to the same condition. I don't believe there's hurricane impact windows and doors on this unit either. All right, so just bear that in mind. That's on the market $340,000 and it's been on for 105 days. Now, when we look at the stuff that's gone pending for 2 beds, you can see here we had one unit 307, different building. This obviously overlooks the intercoastal waterway there. That was on the market for 5 days. Beautiful unit. And you can see in terms of upgrades, they've definitely spent a little bit of money on it. And the price, $499,000. So almost $500,000, so almost $150,000 more than the subject property that we're looking at. And obviously you are going to pay a premium, right, for a unit like this. But obviously on the market 13 days and gone under contracts. There's definitely demand, there's definitely people willing to move into this complex if a unit is fairly priced, given its comparables. Okay, so what else have we got that's been going under contract recently? Well, there's this other 2-bed here that was marketed for $440,000. It was on the market for 24 days. Okay, so not long. Now, how does this compare to ours? Well, again, you can see that this particular unit, it's got a nice, some upgrades done for sure. And you also have a water view of the intercoastal way. In fact, you have a beautiful view, which we're just going to take a look at in a moment. And as I say, this was on the market for 24 days and you get that view over there. So again, you're going to be paying a premium for that view, despite being in the same complex and $80,000 more. And then what else do we have that is currently just been sold? Well, we have this unit here, this unit 202 at 1648 Stickney Point Road in the same complex, on the market for 5 days, sold for $320,000. Now, let's have a look at this. It's not, in terms of finishes, kitchen is not too bad, but definitely not as upgraded as the one that we have. Doesn't look to be hurricane impact windows and doors. The outlook as well, this is in a different building, so this doesn't have a southwesterly facing view, which means that you are not quite going to get that afternoon and evening sunshine. Some original fixtures and fittings there as well, but that's just sold at $320,000. So when we come back to our unit, which is, as I say, on the market for $360,000, it really does go to show that you're getting a lot of extra upgrades, a lot of extra finishes, better aspects for not a lot extra money. Okay, so definitely something to bear in mind if you are looking to relocate into a very well-run managed association with a good community feel. Now, when it comes to leasing, let's say that you might not intend to be here for a large part of the year. Can you rent these units out? Absolutely, you can rent these units out. Now, this particular unit will probably go for $2,500 a month, depending at the time of year. There are a few restrictions. You can have a minimum 1 month stay 3 times a year. Okay, so let's say you have a long-term rental in there, wants to stay for 3-4 months. Well, that would only be classed as 1 time. So you'd still be able to rent the unit out another couple of times. So this is going to be, very pertinent to those who might only want to be staying here a few months of the year. It can be rented out throughout the remaining months without too many restrictions. Now, in terms of who is this property going to be best suited for? Well, snowbirds is definitely going to be one of them. If you're going to be a year-round resident, you want to be close to the beach, you want to be close to the amenities, you don't want to get caught in traffic, you want to make friends and be in an active community, absolutely this is the right type of unit for you. With it being a 2-bed as well, you can obviously have family, friends down, and with it overlooking the pool, if you do have grandkids that are coming down to stay, you can keep an eye on them. So that is really the target buyer that I would see buying a unit like this. Now, of course, if you want to see this listing in person, then feel free to reach out directly. I can arrange it very short notice. Otherwise, hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative, and I'll see you in the next one.